Hey there, Facebook fans. Beautiful day down here in Florida. I've been pondering some things here past couple of days. For those who have never served in the military, I think you've missed out on some things, and actually had a really good conversation with a retired senior chief today, and you know. When I was in the military, there were people on my ship that I would have never went out on liberty with or hung out with. But when we were on the ship, and it was because of disagreements or differences of opinion or whatever, but when we were on the ship, those differences and disagreements had to be put aside. Our personal likes or dislikes had to be put aside to complete the mission, whatever the mission is. When you're out at sea on a ship, you can't go anywhere. So if something happens, a fire, you get into, and fires happen on ships more often than people think. In wartime you get hit with a missile, even in peacetime, because we got hit with a practice bomb and during peacetime on my last cruise, and anybody that was on the USS Sims, they'll recall that. So things happen, and you have to put aside your personal likes, dislikes, or feelings, and realize that there are bigger things that need to be accomplished. And guys, I'm pretty adamant about a lot of the stands that I take. And there's a reason for that. Part of it is upbringing, I'm sure. Part of it is just because I have a pretty good comprehension of what liberty should look like, and what it means to be free from government intervention, and so I take some pretty hard stands on certain issues and things. But in spite of that, there's still something bigger. Just because I have disagreements with people doesn't mean that I would not come to their aid in a time of need. And yet we see today that people not only don't come to the aid of others. We look at the things that Antifa does, and some of these left-wing nut jobs who want to cross the boundary of free speech and get physical. You get your ass kicked, bully for the person that does that, because you get what you deserve. You start touching people. Now you've crossed the line of freedom. But my biggest thing that I want to get across here is, just because I take strong stands on certain things, and I'm not afraid to discuss anything. I take a strong stand on my faith and the existence of God and the existence of creation. I take a strong stand on marriage. I take a strong stand on abortion. I take a strong stand on a lot of stuff. And that doesn't mean that I'm afraid of anybody who's against those things. Okay, you don't scare me. To be honest with you, I'm at the point in my life where I realize that I'm going to die anyway someday. So nothing really scares me. It's appointed a man to die once, and so You know, how I die has already been predetermined, and when I die has been predetermined. So none of that scares me. You know, so the point is it's too bad that we can't get past disagreements and realize that for one thing, we're all a member of the same race. I don't care what color your skin is. We're all members of the same race. And even if we don't like somebody, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't come to their aid or shouldn't be there if they need us. I guess that's, you know, man, as I just think about the things that we did in the military, you know, and especially, I'll tell you what really got me thinking about this is because when I would go to firefighting school and damage control school, and you're in these structures and stuff, and yeah, they're all fake fires, if you want. I mean, the fire was real, but they could be put out through turning off a valve and whatever. We were in compartments that would flood with water, that they could control how much water came in the compartment and stuff. But you worked together as a team, and you didn't care about your differences. And man, I just think that's huge. We didn't look at skin color. We didn't look at where they were from. And when I was in, you didn't even talk about what your sexual preference. Listen, I knew there were gays or whatever, queers, sodomites, whatever you want to call them, when I was in. But you know what? They kept their mouths shut. For one thing, when I was in, you just didn't say what you were. So anyway, I just want to kind of get this video out there as a reminder that, you know what, man, in spite of our differences, and be the bigger person. Be the bigger person. And look, I don't know. I'm going to just close this out with this because it just frustrates me that people that have never served in close quarters or military type of situations, they could never grasp this. They could never grasp this concept that myself and everyone who's ever served understands. Anyway, New Year's is coming up. Maybe I'll do a New Year's video here. We'll see what happens. But hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a safe time. And thanks for watching, guys, and have a good day.